This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. The Essen Spiel show is starting next week. And much like as when I was putting together my Gen Con list for this year, I noticed that ones that would normally be on my most anticipated list were ones that I already had the privilege of playing. And so I didn't want to put them on anticipated because I already know how they play, but I'm still excited about it, which most people have not been able to play it. So I wanted to create a special video that's the top games coming out of Essen Spiel that I've already played. Again, these are ones that would normally have made my list, but they are tried and true games that I've already played at least once and I really like. And this is, in my opinion, this is a better, more concrete list than my anticipated, because anything can go with anticipated. It could be great, it could be a flop, who knows, maybe 50% of the time it ends up being one that I really like. With these are ones that are coming out that I already have played and really love and that you should definitely check out, so let's get started.
Number 7.
The first is a two-player trick-taking game from White Goblin Games that I have already reviewed. By the way, you can check out the links of all the my reviews in the description of this video. This is called Claim. It is designed by Scott Alms. He's the one that's done a ton of great games, but the Tiny Epic series is his baby. And in this game, so two-player trick-taking takes about 8 to 10 minutes to play one round, but you can play like 2 out of 3 is what I often do. And it's a really interesting game because first half of the game, you're playing tricks to try to win specific cards, and then the second half of the game you're taking the cards you won to try to win tricks with them and do different things. But each of the factions has special abilities. Some of them trigger in the first half of the game, some of them in the second half of the game, and some of them all the time, and you're trying to win have the most of 3 of the 5 factions, where there's undead, there are doppelgangers, there's dwarves and things like that. But it's not even a theme that I even like at all. But I gotta tell you, the game was really fun and quick, and you should definitely check it out. If you like trick-taking games at all, this is a great two-player one.
Number 6.
The next is actually a reprint of a game that I loved, was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres many years ago, and this is called Manhattan. This is sort of a family weight, hence Spiel des Jahres, area control game. If you ever wanted to teach someone the basics of area control, Manhattan is a great game for it because the mechanisms are very simple. You're essentially playing a card, and depending on where you're sitting at the board, the angle that you're sitting at the board, the card will do something different for you than it would do for somebody else. So you're playing the card and you're placing buildings, and you're building skyscrapers in Manhattan into different sections of the city, and you're trying to do things like have the most in an area or have the tallest building, and you're trying to cap off over other people, and it's just a really good streamlined game. And I've been dying for this thing to be reprinted for a long time, and I've seen some of the pictures of what it looks like, and I'm really excited that they've given it a very fresh look. So if you've never played Manhattan before, definitely track this one down at Essen, because it is a fantastic entry-level area control game.
Number 5.
The next one is a standalone game. This is not an expansion. This is called The Palace of Mad King Ludwig. And this is from Bezier Games. Again, not an expansion to Castles of Mad King Ludwig. This is a standalone game where you will be working kind of with other people, collectively building one huge palace. But this is not a cooperative game. This is a competitive game where you're going off certain things. There's public goals that you want to go for, but there's also private goals that you can get. There's also different currency in the game that you can spend to get better tiles. And there's different things on your own board that you can activate for either end game goals or special abilities that you can use for the rest of the game. Very interesting. And plus, all the tiles, like in castles, the different room types give you different rewards once you complete them. But you're working on one big thing. It's a little more aggressive than castles because you can block off other people's rooms and things like that. But it was very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I definitely liked it better than Castles, and that is The Palace of Mad King Ludwig. And I already have a review out for that one as well.
Number 4.
The next one is a worker placement game called Montana from White Goblin Games. I've already reviewed this one. It's from Rudiger Dorn, who designed Las Vegas and Karuba. This is a very special game because it's one of those games that only takes, for 2 players, 25 minutes. With 4 players, it only takes about 35 minutes. The box says 45. It's a quick game, but man, it feels like you've played an hour-long game in a good way. There's a lot to think about. It's worker placement. It has a spinner where you're spinning to get workers, but don't worry, you can pay resources to get the ones you really want. And you're placing resources as an interesting bidding mechanism on the board as well, but you're trying to basically get resources, to spend resources to build on the board, and there's some different things on the board that you're trying to do, like get cows that will give you extra turns, canteens that will give you extra turns, cows that will allow you to trade it for anything, but if you're able to get 4 in a row, you get to place more settlements, and it's basically a race to place all your settlements. And again, it is I'd call it a medium weight Euro, but it plays in such a short period of time. If you're looking for something that plays well, with a lot of thinking, but in a short period of time, definitely check this one out, Montana.
Number 3.
This next one is a game that I actually reviewed last year because it actually came out at Essen Spiel last year from Draw Lab Entertainment, but it got picked up by Repos Productions, so it's going to be coming through Asmodee in North America. It's called When I Dream. This is sort of a interesting party game where one player is going to be dreaming. They're going to be wearing a sleep mask, and as the timer goes on, everyone is going to be flipping over a card. And on this card has an image, and everyone goes around the table giving a one-word clue to try to get the player with the mask on to guess what it is. However, some of the people are on their team, some of the people are not, and some of the people get to bounce back and forth as to whether they want them to get the guess or whether they don't. And it's really a fun, interesting social game, party game, social, plays up to I think 10 or 12 players. It's really fun. And I'm really interested to see what Repos has done with it because they always produce great stuff. But this was one of the better party games I played last year when it came out. And it's probably still going to be one of the best that's coming out this year as well. And that's When I Dream.
Number 2.
The next one is one that's gotten quite a bit of buzz. It's from Stonemaier Games. It is a legacy game called Charterstone. I've been playing it for the last month. The review will be coming out shortly once once all the embargoes lift and things like that. So I'm not going to talk about the game at all, other than by saying it is a 1 to 6 player game. It is a light, medium worker placement game. It gets medium as the game goes on. And you're basically gathering resources, building a village. You have your own charter, and it's a legacy game. So you can play the game, and as the game goes on, different things will happen. Some things are destructive, but I'm not going to say anything more about it other than what's known because I can't yet because it's the embargo has not been lifted. But I did want to mention that I have played it. It is a good game. I definitely think you should check it out. It was a fun experience, and again, I can't really say anything about it, but it's on this list because I enjoyed it and I played it, and it's coming out at Essen Spiel, and that's Charterstone.
Number 1.
All right, my number 1 is a game that I played once, a 2-player game at Gen Con. I came back and I recently had done a sneak peek and mini review on this. This is a game called Dragon Castle. This is from Horrible Games. Now, the designers that did this have also done Potion Explosion, Photosynthesis, I think even Steam Park, so they know what they're doing from a design standpoint. I was blown away about this game. I've only played it once. I cannot wait to play it again. It's a game that's been inspired by the Chinese game Mahjong with the beautiful tiles. And in this game, they've taken that concept and really ran with it from a gamer perspective, where you're grabbing tiles and building your own board. And you're trying to basically consolidate like types of tiles and flip them over and build shrines on them. The higher that they are when you build them, the more points you get. But there is so much strategy in this game. You can take tiles, you can discard tiles. It has a drafting mechanism as you're pulling these tiles where you can set it up so that the other player has to pull the tile to reveal one that you really want, giving you that sort of Seven Wonders feel, a Seven Wonders duel feel. There's special abilities that you can enact by discarding a tile. There are different ways to score every game with some variability, and the game looks and feels awesome. This game blew me away when I played it with the amount of replayability that I think is going to be in it. And just the first experience was just unbelievable. Just so much to think about. They took such a simple concept and wrapped around it some awesome gamer mechanisms. So for me, this is the number 1 game that I've played that's coming out of Essen that you better run to because this game is awesome, and that is Dragon Castle from Horrible Games. Well, I hope this gave you a very good list, a solid list of not just ones that I think might be cool or I like it because it's this designer or the art looks cool. The fact that I've already played and reviewed most of these, the fact that this is a solid list, go check these ones out if they seem interesting to you at Essen. And this has been the Game Boy Geek, helping you find and enjoy the next game you'll love.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.